everybody, welcome back to the Vinci's Watch. It's me, Eric, and if you ever read the Star Trek Attack Wing Rulebook, you're going to know my next friend's name. It is Stephan Van.
Hi, what's up, everybody?
How's it going, Steve? Do you have anything for me today?
I do. I brought a copy of Star Trek Alliances by WizKids Games and Lynn Vander Studios. We're going to crack this thing open and do a review. The box nice and open for our Dominion War campaign for Star Trek Alliances. Now, want to take a look at the ships?
Yeah, let's take a look at these ships. Well, we have a bug here. It's a great looking bug. I love the purple matte finish on it, but the ship I'm most excited about, it's an Akira class. Yeah, it's hard out of print right now. You can't find a Thunderchild anywhere.
Yeah, it's the only time it's been printed. So.
And this will be the first one I own after I get my own copy of Star Trek Alliances by Josh Dirksen.
I do like the metallic matte finishes on the ships. The Excelsior looks pretty nice.
I remember Sulu saving everyone in this. It's a great looking Excelsior.
So you get 3 Jem'Hadar attack ships. These will be your primary enemies while playing in the campaign, and then the players have the choice of picking either the Akira class or the Excelsior class to start with. Later on, you'll have the ability to jump into some other ships that are in your collection. All right, let's take a look at some of the stuff, though. So you probably wonder what this big giant card is. Well, this is the AI Logic card for the Jem'Hadar attack ship. As you can see, it's going to have rules for how the thing maneuvers, what its actions are, and its combat phase. It will try to target ships based upon the range and the appropriate arc that it's in. The base will also include these lines so you can get very specific on where the enemies are. So it kind of tracks what the players are doing. You can try to bait it if you want to begin to play really close and lure the squadron away while someone sneaks in behind, but they will be smart, and sometimes they'll just roll and come about out of nowhere and the whole squadron comes after you. That's part of the fun. All right, so we got our usual plastic baggies and dice, standard Star Trek Attack Wing dice. You notice the blue dice, though, these are for a lot of the missions that are inside. Like this one is obviously for your AI Logic card for determining maneuvers. This one's probably going to be for a lot of your missions itself. So it's nice that they include them in the box. Over here we got the standard Star Trek Attack Wing damage deck. This is the same one found in the Fed versus Klingon starter pack. And it's pretty good quality. It's actually a lot firmer than the one that's in the current starter. So this is probably the definitive damage deck to have. And I know what you came to see. Them cards. Let's take a look. So first things up, we have the Jem'Hadar pilot cards. Basically, these are just a reminder that they're Captain's Skill 1, but some of the missions will refer to an ace coming out or an elite one. And that's where the double sides are. They're usually Captain's Skill 4 with abilities. Here are some of the abilities if you'd like to see them. You have various types. They do all kinds of stuff. Stat increases, quality for attacking and defending. Some of them even ignore shields. They can get pretty devastating. And these ships will come out based upon the number of players or how high up in rank you are. The missions will dictate how often they appear. And there is a lot of them. Next up, you got the 2-player cards. You only get 2 because one box says designed for 2 players. If you have 4 friends, you need to get another set. This will give you enough bugs to run the missions as well as more player ships to play with. Basically, these cards will track the player itself, which is you, the captain, and your captain skill. Your skill increases, you'll gain access to elite talents, you'll gain access to more upgrades, as well as points that you can put into the actual upgrades that you field on the ship. As for cards, we got standard Akira class movement dial, the new Akira class card with its updated point cost, 21 points. That's nice.
I love it.
Excelsior class, and its new updated point cost, 20 points. And as for regular cards, well, we got some fun ones. On crew, we have Operations Officer. This one spends evade tokens to get you some shields back.
Good use for an evade token if you have nothing else.
That's true. I am a fan of this one. 4 points for Tactical Officer. Basically, when attacking, you disable the card, reroll any number of your attack dice. You're probably like, I could take a target lock. You can, but this is not an action to use. So if you have any way to remove disabled tokens for free or bonus actions, you could use that. This also works against cloak ships. So it's very fun outside of the game. Next up, we have the Helmsman. The Helmsman will help you with the speed of your maneuvers, increase or decrease, because you never know. These little AI bugs can throw you for a loop, especially if you find an ace one. This will help you when you actually activate to be able to change your maneuver a little bit. Science Officer gives you 2 scans.
Always
Fun.
good.
Oh, yeah. Commander,
Oh,
good old
Riker.
Will Riker. He gives you a battle stations and an evade token. And the evade token is used for several cards in this pack.
I like how the evade token's being used for other uses in this pack so far.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Cisco.
This is what, Eric, your favorite card?
Oh, I
Calculating?
just love anything with Cisco on it.
I mean, it is his war, but it does grant you Captain Skill 10 for the whole round.
During
1
activities.
point.
1 point, not faction locked.
Speaking of evade tokens,
here you go.
Start a combat phase, spend this, get a maneuver. That's really strong. Inspiring helps remove oxes from friendly ships. Battle Harden's my favorite. You spend a battle station, place a time token, get a battle station.
Good old Miles O'Brien.
Yeah. Now you have a battle stations for attacking and defending, or if you have multiple attacks. Wing Leader's fun. You can re-roll a battle stations for a friendly ship. Impulse upgrade will help some of the maneuvers on cards. We can actually take a look and see who it helps in this pack. Let's see, what does it increase? You get green banks and 2 forwards. Well, that's going to be the Excelsior. Could use those green bank 2s.
That'd be really nice to have a 2 green bank.
And also for the Akira.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
For 1 point, should be fun.
Can't really beat that. 1 point tech upgrade.
Yeah. It'll be good filler. Impulse efficiency. This will allow you to remove an ox when you perform maneuvers. Quite fun. 2 points. Detection grid. Essentially, this will let you use your scan token for your friends to give them a reduction in the enemy's agility value. Reinforced shields. Now this is a pretty fun card. If you notice, there's no restrictions on the cards at all. So you can put this on any ship of any faction. You don't have to pay the faction penalty if it's not fed. It just gives you +2 shields.
I can't.
Where are you going to put this?
Harvester Prime every game.
Yeah, imagine a lot of people are going to slap this on all kinds of ships. And, I didn't get to show you this, but the cards are nice and glossy and in different material, which is interesting. And then, of course, the backs is Star Trek Attack Wing Alliance with the Alliance symbol.
So you're going to know where you're getting.
It's true. The Alliance symbol is also right there to remind you. Currently, you're allowed to play them outside of the box. You can only use these cards within the campaign.
Yes.
And the EMH. Now we're into proved hull plating. This actually be very useful because some of the ace cards like to deal crits to you, so don't want that. Subspace field removes all oxes. This is actually a lot better when you have more players. It'll allow you to do harder red maneuvers and be able to clear them for your friends. You get 2 copies of the Fed Photon Torpedoes of new art showing the Akira class. These are basically reprints from the current Federation vs. Klingon starter.
Gotta love Akira art.
Yep. Dorsal phaser array. Speaking of Akira, it's going to really love to have this because it only has that 90 forward firing arc. Overcharged phasers is interesting because of the 2 range. It just gives you a +1 attack dice. Full spread. Oh boy. So you're having trouble with the bugs, huh? Well, with this bad boy, you can fire the photon torpedoes or the quantum torpedoes twice by discarding the torpedo in this card at a different target, not even needing the target lock on the other target.
Double tapping with torpedoes.
Yeah. And speaking of that, quantum torpedoes are a reprint from the Defiant release. And last, we have enhanced targeting. This will grant you a reroll. If you got the 4 points or the XP, might as well take it. Super
Reroll the
helpful.
reroll, man.
As for the cardboard, we got some objective tokens, various asteroids. You get the standard 12 mission tokens and your maneuver dials. The back side, you get some orbital weapon platforms for some of the missions and some satellites. This one, these number ID tokens are for your squadrons of bugs. This is very important.
What are these for?
That is for the AI logic card. Remember how I said that you're going to need that to know where they're checking for closest ship or targets. Having this on the base is super helpful. This way you don't have to constantly hold the card out. And if you notice, you kind of can't see the arc on this side. So on the base, you'll be able to look and check. If you're wondering, you basically use what's here for that side, but with the maneuvers going the other way, which the rulebook explains. You get some player tokens as well. These are all dual colored. This is an objective token. It's actually got the slots in for maneuver dial because one of the missions uses the runabout and the other one, a damaged ship you got to rescue.
Of course.
The last of them are all your standard tokens, action tokens, maneuvers, crit tokens. More player tokens, these are red and then green. Maneuver tokens with blue into orange. Last, your maneuver tokens with your maneuver dials. And then target lock shields and disable tokens.
Perfect.
The only thing left is what's in the bottom of the box.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I'll
look
take
at that.
Look at the ships one more time. Got to hide it from you. Got to build suspense.
That's true.
And there we go.
We got our range ruler, pretty standard in the game. 6 forward template. Nice new planet. That's fun. Looks almost like Andoria. And I guess the purple hue. It's going to be a Jim
I love it.
planet.
I love that purple
Whichever you
one.
want.
Oh, maybe they're making ketamine white on there.
Catch Salt White? Yeah.
Catch Salt White.
All right, so this book,
Not ketamine.
this is the Dominion War actual campaign book. This is going to dictate exactly how all the missions are and your starting ships, as well as the other ships that you can get into. So this is the captain skill you have to be to get into some of these other ships that you might have in your collection.
Oh, Prometheus.
Yes. Here's an example of some of the missions. Basically, you have your outline sections, your objectives, how you get XP, how you complete the mission. These are entry points for the ships. If you notice, it says Dominion Wing round 2. So round 2 is going to come in, and they want you to roll for it. So you roll that D6, and that's where the squadron comes in. So you're not sure when reinforcements are going to show up. And they can ambush you. Yeah. And then so it tells you right here, the players, how many bugs show up. And if there's an elite, you'll see the elite symbol. As you add more players, more bugs show up at the time. Lots of missions. Be very challenging. This one we got to rescue the ship. Guide the runabout. Oh, this one's fun too. You got to go to the listening post, stop them from being destroyed. And watch out for the weapons platforms. They have 8 hull and 3 attack. They will get you. This is basically Battle of Chintaka. And then the last book is the rules of play. This is much like your standard attack wing rule book. It's going to have all of your stuff, identifying the cards, the actual rules, but it's also going to show you your player card anatomy, the enemy ship logic card, as well as the enemy loadout cards. In here, I'll give you examples of the missions, how to run them, what the setups are, how to actually set up your squadron of bugs, and your basic other rules. They actually do a good job of showing you the combat phase breakdown, like fully, all the way through. So there's no issues with that.
That's really
And
good.
then other than that is like recording your XP, how to end your mission and continue onward. You can play the missions just by themselves if you want to, any mission you want. Or you can play them linking.
So you can go a full campaign, a full Dominion War campaign if you want to.
Oh, yes. And yeah, that's basically it. You have additional rules and upgrades, all the stuff about mandatory rule card abilities, disabling upgrades, everything that you need to know. And of course, everything else is here.
This is great for people who want to play at home, just play one night with your family, enjoy it, play a whole week.
So what do you think, Eric?
It looks really good. I'm impressed by a lot of the cards and the ships. I'm a fan of how these ships look. I can't wait to use an Akira class. I haven't been able to. I've always had to borrow one. It's never been fun.
It's true.
And with everything going on, you can't borrow anybody's anymore. And I love the bugs. I'm a bug guy.
Well, I know. You like that matte finish.
I love the matte finish. Let's put that right there.
Ooh. All right, so we're going to take a look at the first mission and how to set up. The first mission is Act 1, a simple patrol. So, Eric, what'd you pick?
Well, obviously I picked the Akira. I've been waiting for this. I can't wait to use it. But tell me, how do I know what I can bring?
All right, so you get this fancy little captain's card here, which tracks your reputation and all the XP you have.
Okay.
You start with 6. You have to spend it all. It cannot be for your captain skill.
So what do I spend it on?
So you're going to spend it for your upgrades. Well, not especially the upgrades that you're going to put into it, but the amount of points that you can put into upgrades.
So the points I'm allocated by my experience.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, you're going to be stuck at Captain Skill 2 until we get to the second mission, but that's
All
fine.
right.
So I recommend for you that we put in 3 for your weapon and 3 for your crew.
Okay, what cards do you recommend?
So, for the Akira class, I recommend the dorsal phaser array for weapons because this will help you fire outside your primary firing arc, which as you see is just a lowly 90. And this will help when the bugs are swarming you.
Okay.
Next, 3 points for a crew, this being helmsman. Now, helmsman may look like much because it only can increase or decrease your maneuver by 1, as a reminder, Akira class style. But the missions are very dependent upon you collecting items, data, so forth, and retreating to the Federation board edge.
So that's how I win. I had to get to the board edge?
You have to retreat.
Okay.
So like in this mission, you have to go up to area C and D and to collect the mission tokens, and then leave through the whole blue highlighted area.
Now, how long do I have?
You only have 10 turns. Now, if you can survive and get both mission tokens, you automatically retreat at turn 10 for this mission.
I can have like a defensive build and just keep flying around and be safe?
But you have to make sure you go get those missions. Some of the missions are going to make you lower your shields. This one does not. This one, you just have to spend a scan token to be able to collect the mission tokens.
Like the Kobayashi Maru, I have to lower my shields?
Very much so.
Oh God.
This can
Okay.
be like that. But the helmsman will help you because it can increase your maneuver so you can actually get to the board edge faster or take harder turns when trying to avoid these bugs.
Okay. So now, what are the bugs going to do? How are they going to know using the logic card what to do?
All right, so we got 2 basic loadouts. The
Okay.
basic loadout cards for Jim Hart Attack Ship are Captain Skill 1. You can tell if it is a basic one by just seeing the highlighted image of a Jim Hart Attack Ship. If you see an elite talent upgrade next to one, it means it is an elite, and its card will look like this. It'll
Okay.
be Captain Skill 4 and have an ability. So with these 2, you're going to have little ID markers on them. The ID markers will be range from like 1 to however many bugs you're using.
Okay.
The lowest one is going to activate first and go. So
Sure.
that's going to be this guy.
Then you use the D6 to figure out the movement.
But first we have to determine what range you're at
Oh,
and what arc. So in
okay.
this case, we've already determined you're at range 2.
Of course.
And you are in his forward arc within the white lines that you see on the base, which
Yes.
correspond to the logic card. Now, when you are at range 2, it's going to check for 2 different things. If you are retreating, you're going to use the outer band. If you are closing in, like you're currently doing, you're going to use the inner band.
So it's checking on the facing. So since I'm facing towards him,
You're coming at him.
and if I'm facing away from him, I'm retreating.
Right. This is so the enemy logic card can try to predict what you're going to do, knowing that it moves first. So we're going to roll that dice
Okay.
within the forward arc inner band and see what we get.
We
We
got
got a
2.
2, so he's going to take 1 bank this way. He's be trying to get you to bank. So kind of like this.
Yes.
This one, though, has you in between 2 of the arcs. So if you're like, do I have to do it randomly? Why, no. What you do is, if the enemy ship is facing towards one of the 2, you use that one. So for
Okay.
example, you're facing towards his forward arc, meaning that he's going to use the forward logic. And let's see what he does. He's also going to do it too. And this one is he's going to bank this way and kind of come out, not
So-
knowing what you're going to do.
So here's my question. Do they take their actions at the same time a normal ship would?
So when they do this, they go to choose action. You'll notice that they don't get auxiliary power tokens if they do red maneuvers, they just skip their action. But that
Alright.
doesn't mean that there can't be upgrades or card abilities or mission effects that gives them auxiliary power tokens. So the first thing they check for is, can they remove an auxiliary power token? Then, if they have a shot, so like this one currently has a shot, he's going to take a battle stations. This one also has a shot. He's going to take a battle stations.
Then-
If for some reason he didn't, then he's going to take an evade or fix a critical and then scan if it can't do anything else. And then you're going to go. So what maneuver did you do?
Well, let's say I did in this situation where they would have been, I probably would have did a bank going in.
Right. Okay, so this is going to put you like right here.
Yeah.
Now that will not quite get you out of his arc, just barely. You're still in, and you're definitely still within each other's arc. So what's going to end up happening is the combat fade will proceed. They are going to shoot at the nearest target, which happens to be you. There's obviously another player in play, but your job is to kind of distract them while the Excelsior goes out and
So
gets the mission
my
tokens.
Excelsior's going around, going to C and D, getting the thing, and then trying to leave.
Right.
Now, what happens if I die and my Excelsior friend wins?
So any player who dies scores 1 less XP.
Okay.
Anytime you do anything in the mission, all players gain XP. So as long as he accomplishes the job, he will get the XP for both players. You'll just lose out on one of that. I believe the mission will award you 2, and then you'll only end up with 1.
But if you do it correctly, you're just helping each other.
Correct, because they're going to go after the closest, which is you. And that's what I feel like the Excelsior's job is in these earlier missions. Kind of protect the Excelsior, go out. You have agility dice, you have a big hull. You're meant to just go out, kind of maneuver around, get their attention, shoot them with your 360 weapon, have fun.
And I know you're not used to seeing an Akira. This is only the second one, but that's the Akira, not the Excelsior.
No, we're talking about the Excelsior.
Oh, I think you're
doing
talking
his
about this thing.
No. This guy's actually got agility, unlike the Excelsior.
So you pointed to him, like, whatever.
Well, we just pretend that he's there.
Yeah. He's over here right now.
Yeah, he's doing the mission objective. And as for the mission objective, once you complete it or survive until the round, you'll then score the points and go on to the next mission in the campaign. And once you're into Act 2, you can do any of those missions in any order you choose.
Okay.
Losing them will still give you the -1 to your XP, as well as giving the Dominion player an influence. The influence determines how well they are winning the campaign versus you. If they get to 3, they just win. But if you keep them down, you'll be able to do much better, except the last mission.
The last mission.
Yeah, we took a little early peek at that one. And so you kind of get led into a trap. Surprise. And if you are doing very well in the mission, they're going to start with a lot more orbital weapon platform tokens. But if you're getting kind of like hammered throughout the missions, they'll have less, so you have an easier time.
So it kind of scales up depending on how good the players are doing.
Yes, they did a very good job with that last mission to do so. And well, it scales up with the amount of players for enemies, and the AI logic card tends to predict very well, or at least get in your way. It's kind of hard to chase them because you really are not sure what they'll do. Even when you're like, I got 50-50 shot that they're going to go like this direction, 1 out of 6 chance they do a come about and they're totally somewhere else.
I just like the idea of your last big boss battle scaling to you. If me and my friend are killing it, we get a harder thing. We get the reward for beating it. We feel good.
Oh, yeah. Now, I remember you asked earlier about some differences with Attack Wing to this.
Oh, of course.
The differences are how the AI interacts with obstacles in the board edge. This is very interesting. So the AI will naturally avoid an obstacle if it can. So if there's one in its way, and its maneuver template would cause it to cross it, it will change its maneuver. There's literally a chart that tells you exactly how to do it. So they'll go out of the way. On the planet's case, they can actually overlap the planet and still attack and be attacked. Players cannot. They still bump planets, so you can't overlap it. And then the board edge. So for example, if for whatever reason this bug was trying to catch you near the board edge and it goes off, it'll go off the board edge, then place right up against the edge outside and still get its combat phase against you and then re-enter.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, there's no tricking the AI to get it off the board and be like, yeah, I got rid of one. Yeah, no, you're going to actually have to try a little bit harder. This board area is basically your combat zone. Their combat zone is the Gamma Quadrant, which is just everything else.
All right, this seems really good. I can't wait to play.
Okay.
Do a full gameplay, and I can't wait to use the cards actually in regular Attack Wing.
Yep, me neither. All right, guys. So that's it for the review for this time. We'll probably go through some of the missions more in detail.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited about the Akira class. I'm really excited about a bug. I love these cards. I believe it comes out January 27th.
That seems to be right.
Check your friendly local game store, and please like, subscribe for more reviews, unboxing, battle reports. I'm loving doing this. Thank you for watching.